We all ready? Good evening, everyone. Certainly good to see all of you here tonight. Man, we got a nice crowd, and hopefully it's not the protest, so it's good to see. Certainly good to see all of you. So we will start our council meeting for this Tuesday, April 16th by calling the roll, if you would, please.
Councilmember Lyles?
Here.
Councilmember McCarty?
Here.
Councilmember Mullins? Here. Vice Mayor Stovall?
Here.
Mayor Gross?
Here. Okay, folks, as you know, here in Vinton, we use a moment of silence. That way everyone can pray or meditate as they see fit. During your thoughts and prayers, if you would keep this country, this community, and certainly this council meeting in your thoughts and prayers, we would appreciate that. So I ask you to stand for that if you can. And while we're standing, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. Who's going to do that?
Miss Angie Tuning has agreed to do that for us.
How nice. Thanks.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Thank you, AJ.
Okay, once again, thank you folks for being here this evening. We will start with the community events and announcements. Councilmember McCarty.
Okay, I've got a bunch here. The Shred event is April the 20th from 9 to 12 at the Municipal Building rear parking lot. On April the 22nd, 12 to 6, the 35th Vinton History Museum Anniversary and Kickoff Fundraising Campaign for Rising to New Heights Cargo Person Lift. And there will be light refreshments and door prizes at that. The Vinton Dogwood Festival and concert is April the 26th at 6 p.m. The Vinton Dogwood Festival is April the 27th. It starts at 10 a.m. And there is a blood drive May the 6th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the War Memorial. And you can register for this online. And then May the 18th, there is a garage sale at the Vinton History Museum, and they would love your donations for that. That is a big event that they raise a lot of funds for the Vinton Museum. So go help them out, clean out the closets, do whatever you need to do, and take it on over there. And as always, we encourage folks to visit one of the many restaurants and entertainment venues in our community, such as Rosie's, Lancerlot, Twin Creeks, Vinton Bowling, Defy Gravity, and more. More information can be found at each venue's website or social media. And for more information on everything happening in Vinton, please visit the In Vinton Facebook page, and don't forget to like and share.
Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, wait a minute, I got one more. Arbor Day is coming up, and we have a lot of students that have done some beautiful artwork out here in our lobby. So there's little pieces of paper over that you can pull out. There's 2 different categories. So please vote on those before you leave, because they worked hard on them. They were very pretty, and it is very hard to make a decision on that. So
You betcha. Okay, thank you, ma'am. That's it?
that's all that I can think of right now. I may interrupt you later.
That's okay. That's okay. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, now we'll talk about some council activities. Councilmember Mullins, please.
All righty. On April 4th, council members McCarty and Mullins attended the Breast Cancer Awareness Walk Committee meeting. On April 4th also, all of town council attended the State of the Town that morning. April 10th, council members McCarty and Lyles attended the community development meeting. And on April the 15th, the Mayor Gross and Vice Mayor Stovall attended the Finance Committee meeting.
We did. All right. Thank you very much. It's been a busy time. All right. With that, we'll move on to a request to postpone, add, or change the order of the agenda. Yes, sir.
I do have a request. I would like to add item H4. It is a resolution to support a grant application.
Okay. H4, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Council, any objections to that? If not, we will modify the agenda as mentioned. Next item is the consent agenda, and tonight it contains the minutes of the council retreat on March 22nd, which was very productive, by the way, as well as the minutes for the regular meeting of April 2nd. Are there any changes or additions? Hearing none, we will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Motion by Councilmember Lyle, second by Councilmember McCarty. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right, now we get to the fun stuff. All right, understand this is awards and introductions, and I understand we have a couple of new folks with us this evening.
We do, and I would at least like to ask them to stand up at their seat.
Absolutely. Oh, we want to meet them. They can come.
Well, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
So it is my great pleasure to introduce the two newest members of our Town of Vinton team. And the Cultural Placemaking and Events Director is Miss Mandy Atkins, and then the Community Programs Coordinator is Rachel Nunley. Both of them started work with us last Monday. They've hit the ground running. We're really excited to have them. Mandy comes to us from Botetourt County, where she served as Parks and Rec Director. She originates from Craig County. She's had a few other positions. I won't get into all those details, but she's got a wealth of knowledge and really looking forward to her helping. Rachel actually joins us from VBR, Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge, and she also previously interned with the Vinton Chamber. So we're really happy to have Rachel as well. What Mandy will do, I'll just talk very briefly about the two positions. Mandy will be primarily responsible for the events in the community, assisting with folks like the Chamber, with our Dogwood Festival Chamber for our festivals, downtown festivals, our concerts, and getting our businesses to working together. Mandy also oversees the War Memorial, the History Museum, the Community Center, and the Farmers Market. We have with us this evening Amanda, and I didn't see Caroline, but Amanda's, oh, there she is. I'm sorry. I was looking right past you. Amanda, Caroline, and Shay are here. So that completes really the team of the War Memorial and the Community Center staff. So we've shaken some things up now that we're fully teamed, and we're going to be looking at reorganizing. And so you'll see those ladies not just at the facility, but you'll see them out in the community as well in the future. So we're kind of changing up things quite a bit. So Mandy and Rachel, and pleasure to have you.
Sure is. Yeah, welcome, ladies. Traditionally, we give you this opportunity to come up and shake hands and greet the council members and the other folks sitting over here, Chief.
Thank you.
Mauricio. Welcome. Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
Glad you're here. Thank you.
So good to you.
Thank you. Try again.
Coming, Rachel. Appreciate it.
And I think she wants a photo op there.
I'm going to get the whole team up.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Thank you. It is nice. Promoted in.
Yay. All right. Certainly a team to be reckoned with, right? Very excited about the new team at Vinton War Memorial and all the various places we'll see you guys throughout the town. We're just, like I say, just really excited. I believe that facility has served this community well for lots of years, and I think it has a great future. So certainly excited about all the activities that you'll be reporting on, right?
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I have a whole list. I'll have to take the first half.
You went up 2 or 3 times. Welcome, ladies. Good to have you with us. All right, with that, we'll move on to an update from the Vinton Chamber of Commerce. I think Angie's with us this evening. Miss Angie Chi.
Speaking of team.
There you go. Angie and Catherine.
Thank you.
Good to-
For letting us come chat with you tonight. I think I've said hi to everybody tonight when we came in. So we just want to give you guys a brief update of what's happening in our little neck of the woods up the street. So we started off 24, rolled off with a super successful casino night at the Vinton War Memorial. I hope everybody that came had a great time. We sure did. We've heard lots of feedback. A lot of people want us to do it again. So we're in search of a new place for next year. So if anybody has any ideas, holler at us. Next up was our annual Senior Services Expo. We had over 60 vendors and a whole lot of people. We never get an exact count of how many people come through, but we know we gave out 500 goodie bags before 11 o'clock.
Wow.
So, and it went on till 2, just like that. So it was crazy. So that's always a good time. Then, of course, we had State of the Town with you guys. Thank you for partnering with us. We love to do that. It was one of our largest turnouts. So that was a sign to us, and I hope to you guys too, of what people, how people want to know what we're doing down here. They want to know what little town is doing big things, and they wanted to see what was going on. So thank you guys. Thank the town, Public Works, and PD for all that you guys do to us. For us, it's all, you guys are amazing. Next on our docket is the first of our 2 golf tournaments for the year. The spring one is at Blue Hills on May the 17th. The fall one is at Botetourt on September 20th. So hope you guys want to come out and play golf with us and have some fun, because those are always a good time.
And celebrate my birthday.
Oh yeah, May 17th is her birthday, so we're gonna be celebrating at Blue Hills. She's not real excited about that. So then right around the corner starts our Mingle Summer Concert Series, and we're kicking it off big. The first one is going to actually start a little bit early at 6:30, and we have 3 bands for that one, so that one's going to be huge, and we hope it's going to be a big kickoff for the whole season. The second one is going to be, I think, one of the ones I'm looking forward to. It's an 80s party with that 80s band. So, most of us here remember the fun we had in the 80s. I know there's some young ones, but and the fun doesn't stop there. At the 80s party, we go through September. So the 2nd and the 4th Saturday all the way through September. So, and then on October 12th, the big pumpkin fall festival. So we have that coming up, and we hope this year will be bigger and better than ever. And wrapping up our year of events with the best, most lit, and I think you all agree, the longest Christmas parade in the Valley. So that ends our big events. And whew, I'm already tired talking about that. So we've already hosted 1 lunch and learn. We have 4 more scheduled for the rest of the year. I've done 6 Vinton Chatters on Fox Radio so far. This is live on 9:10 a.m. and 104.3 FM the first and the third Wednesday of each month, which means tomorrow at noon. I'll be on live, so tune in, hear it. You guys sponsor that for us, so I appreciate that. But people really listen to that. I'm kind of impressed that people listen to what I have to say on the radio, but I have great guests lined up so that are talking about all kinds of things happening. We've done a ribbon cutting at a relocation. We have several after hours already scheduled and looking forward to get more in the books. Since January, we've gotten 10 new members, and we just love being downtown and being in the middle of everything. So stop by. Our bright yellow doors says welcome, so come on in. So thank you guys.
All right. Thank you very much. What a great report. Lots going on.
Yeah.
So thank you, folks, for all the hard work and what you're doing in town. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, lots of exciting stuff. And to me, it's one of the really great things about Vinton. Everybody contributes in one way or the other, and obviously the chamber really contributes to all the activities that we have here in town. It's really awesome. Thank you, Angie. Okay, with that, we'll move on to something that's very near and dear to my heart, and something I think a lot of folks in town appreciate, and that's our Vinton Roanoke County Veterans Monument. I'm going to give you folks an opportunity to say something if you would like. We do have a proclamation I'll read first, and like I said, we'll give you a proclamation and a pen, and let me say first of all that I just want to express my personal appreciation for all the members of this committee. We've been together since 2006. Yeah, that's a lot of meeting and a lot of pizza and a lot of heartburn for a lot of reasons. But no, this committee has really worked hard. And I've told all of you, and I really mean it, it's undoubtedly one of the best committees I've ever served on. And all you have to do is drive, for 10 years. It's almost a lifetime commitment. But, all you got to do is drive by up there and you'll see, what this committee produced, and you see what all the hard work was about. So I want to thank all of you personally, and also read this proclamation. Then if any of you would like to speak, we'll certainly give you some time to do that. This is a proclamation from the town of Vinton. Whereas the Vinton War Memorial Vision Committee was established in 2006 with the board of directors, including chairperson Barbara Booty Tuning, vice chair Audrey Thrasher, secretary treasurer Catherine Sowers, assistant director Candy Peters, director Mary Beth Lehman, director Brad Gross, and director Jason Peters, and Sam Cundiff, Norm Jasper, Betty Kelly, and Joanne Lonker. And whereas the committee was first established and based on the decision-making process regarding the Vinton War Memorial Building and related structures, and whereas the committee proved their hard work and dedication to serving the community, service members, and veterans by retrieving donations and funds to build a monument that honors current service members and veterans, holding the names of all veterans from Vinton and Roanoke County who were killed in action during the Korean War, World War II, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Iraq Freedom, and Afghanistan. And whereas the monument intends to add names of any persons lost in action in the future due to conflict or war in today's world, and whereas the High Ground Monument description describes the concept and mission of the Veterans Monument, the site continues to be a place where individuals and groups can visit. Now, therefore, Mayor Brad Gross and the Town Council of the Town of Vinton, on behalf of all of our citizens, do hereby express our sincere appreciation and thanks to the Vinton War Memorial Vision Committee for their distinguished and outstanding commitment to the Vinton's current service members and veterans, and especially for their service to the town of Vinton, and extend best wishes to them and their families for many happy and successful years in the future. So, folks, I don't know if that doesn't even come close to what that monument means to so many people, but I just want to thank all of you for what you've done over the years. And if you can come up front, I want to present you with a few things. Certainly the the proclamation. Yeah, I want to present you with the monument. Yeah, if you guys will help hand out the pens and those cards.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah.
Just don't go to coffee with you.
So, yeah.
Among other things.
Well, that story, right.
Come on, Betty, get in here. We're the old folks now. This caused me to cry. Yep. Okay, thank you. Oh, I think that's sweet. Oh,
Yeah.
so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here.
You guys will
Don't worry, take pictures. Oh. See what happens to you when you get your chance to
take a picture with it. Yeah.
Can we get started?
Squeeze it, because some of us haven't seen each other for, we haven't seen each other for a while.
To those that aren't here. Wait a minute, let me put this like.
This woman always looks at it.
Well, that's right. And you wonder where Andy gets theirs?
Yes.
We want to give all these folks the opportunity to say something if they'd like. I know Lucy's got a little story she loves to tell. Catherine, you're first in line. Do it.
Well, I'm just going to say as Secretary Treasurer, I am so glad to finally turn this officially over to the town of Benton. I'm probably the last holdout on this, hanging on and keeping the accounts, but we're so proud of this. I think when we were asked to go on the committee, none of us thought, first of all, that it would be this long, but also what we were going to be able to accomplish. Let's put it this way. When we first started this, we were told there was no way we could raise $350,000 from people in the town of Benton. And guess what? We did it in less than 5 years. For the most part, it wasn't huge contributions. It was the individual ones. So we're proud of it. We hope you are, and it will last for a long, long time.
Thank you, Catherine. Rudy?
Oh, Lord. My story is that you never go to lunch with Brad and Carolyn, because that's what happened to me. We had a great lunch. We were at Rosie's, whatever. Yeah, we did do Rosie's. Whatever.
Bam.
So we had lunch, and I said, Betty, we want to have monument. I said, well, that's fine. Go ahead, that's wonderful. Well, they said, well, we want you to be chairman. I said, that'd have to be good. No, I won't do that. But no, I am so glad I took it without crying. I was just so glad I took it on. Because I have to say, these people right here were the ones that done all the work. You asked them to do, and they did. And I am so proud of them. Each and every one of them. And Audrey was just a wonderful vice president. She just took over and did all kinds of things. And I can just say that for every one of these people, they need a big round of applause for them. I bet it.
I was so proud and honored as a woman, Navy veteran, to be asked to be on this committee. It meant the world to me, and it was a labor of love. I made lifelong friends, and Jasper, he's not here with us, and there's some of us who are now gone, and Brad, who's an Army veteran, and just I have broadcasted it. I take the picture everywhere I go, and I talk about it everywhere. So I'm no longer a resident of Benton. My heart will always be here with these people.
And y'all said it a lot. It was kind of humorous when we came on. Son was now 15, and we always joked about it. That it was a lifetime committee. Sons, they're getting off. I think we're excited that it's passing, but the friendships and what we endured, health issues, cancer, losses. I mean, it was an amazing thing to go through together.
It was, but it was interesting. I'm going to say this because she didn't say it real quick, Candy. When they met with the artist and they were meeting with Booty and Candy. Think about that. Keep going.
See, it was the TV study. Booty and Candy. The TV. Know who we were sending.
But we let them know.
So Jason, I guess you're,
Well, I was gonna say that we did wonder if it'd be a lifetime commitment, because since 2006, we got married, we had 2 kids, and he's out there and as tall as we are, and it's 15. But honestly, to be a part of this, to give back something to our community that's a living monument. I mean, it's something that you don't find anywhere else. You go to DC, you go to a World War II, you go to this, but rarely do you find a living monument. And I think it's something that we should be proud of, not only in Benton, but in Roanoke County.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I have to say is, these people are more than amazing. All I did really was check any grammar anybody had. This is Steve went out and got the money. I can't do that, and I can check your grammar.
I'm a little bit nervous back on Joanne was here checking.
Well, I just want to say something. As Betty already mentioned that some of our members died being a member of this committee, which we functioned for so long, but it was a joy on my part.
You were great.
Good job.
Y'all did well, we did.
This committee worked together, played a little bit together, but worked together, got along. We could discuss things as much as we needed to. We remained friends, expressed our opinion. The end result, I think we have a wonderful, magnificent, high-ground Veterans Monument. I want to share something. Danae Winsley, who worked for the town of Benton, she's a part-time employee, and myself had the pleasure of researching Killed in Action names. And that took a little over a year. And appreciate Danae so much. She was tenacious in her research and the number of resources that we had. And we worked and worked to verify, the location where the folks lived and the names and the spelling. And without Danae, that would have been a huge chore. She lives in Northern Virginia now. She's married, and happy for her. So appreciate her. Sam kind of couldn't be here. He recently had surgery. We appreciate Sam so much. Norm Jasper, his health is not good at all, so keep him in your prayers. And Steve Lonker, Joanne's husband, Sir.
Bob Patterson.
Bob Patterson.
Bob Patterson was in.
Sam's kind of.
Maddie and Doug Ford.
See, we love him. And I
That's the
said,
ones that he lost that we just hold dear in our hearts.
oh, yeah.
We didn't done it without any of it. We became
Yes.
friends. We became family. Family. Good friends. And like Fred said, we ate a lot of pizza. Subway. Subway. And we're just glad that we could do this for the community. Glad we could do this for the veterans.
I'm going to interrupt her because of the fact is, we could not have done this monument without the work of Mary Beth. She was with the town and everything. She got everything going for us, and anything that we needed, she'd jump right on and check it out, wouldn't she?
On y'all and ask for help with it. Yes.
But she was, well, we had so many hard workers, and selling those bricks wasn't easy.
Right.
Friends.
We didn't have any 600.
People helped with that. I really think we ought to get together and write out some of the history of this. Let me pose just real briefly a couple additional comments. You're right, someone mentioned the $300,000. We should also mention that Roanoke County and the town of Benton chipped in $50,000 each. So, yeah, it was all small donations, which I think is significant. One thing I wasn't sure I should mention, but this past weekend, as a matter of fact, I attended a reunion for Vietnam era folks that served in Korea. kind of an unusual group, but anyhow, and they were going around the room talking about different veterans activities they were involved in. And there was some great ones. People supported other veterans and various cards and just friendship and various things. And gosh, it finally got down to me, and I said, you know, I don't really participate in a group like that, but I was in a group that built a monument to veterans. What? You know? Like the jaw was dropped, and got all the questions after the meeting. How do you do that? And I said, well, you hook up with a great bunch of folks from Vincent. You get that. So thank you, folks.
I want to add something. In the spring or early summer, I'm bringing a group from the Glebe to the monument to take a tour. And I said, I'll be glad to give you a tour. And all of you are invited to meet them. But I talk about the monument to everything. I even have it up. So, but they turned me down to come to the parade. But I said, well, I'll get you. I'll bring them myself.
Thank you.
Betty, go ahead.
Well, they said, Brad came. He talked to me in the bank and told me it would be a committee for 1 year.
Brad, we already listened to Brad since then.
I know. You're right, Jason.
Hey, I'll say probably the reason back then that you guys had pizza and Subway because that was the only things here.
You're right, brother. That's exactly right. All right.
Well, there goes all the fun.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
I had people while it lasted.
Yeah. Right. All right. Next item we have is the Arbor Day proclamation. And I think Fayula is going to talk with us a little bit about that. You have the proclamation.
I do, yes, sir.
And Councilmember Mullins has the proclamation. I guess you got some other details though, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of council, mayor, and town staff. So Arbor Day has been an established tradition for the town of Vinton since its inauguration in 2001. The town has proudly maintained its Tree City designation for 23 consecutive years. So this, I guess technically last year would have been mark the 23rd year, and then once we complete this year, we would go into our 24th year. This event, it serves to bring awareness about the significance of trees and emphasizes the role of all stakeholders, including employees, town council, residents, in terms of our responsibility for the preservation and the maintenance of our trees. Because our primary demographic is kids or children, we decided this year that we are going to try and get them a little bit more engaged. And so that is what caused the idea for the Arbor Day drawing competition. As you guys can see in the hallway, that we have some very creative pieces, and we're very proud of that competition. We will be presenting the awards for that at the official celebration of Arbor Day, which will be held on the 25th of April at 10:30 at the Vinton Library. So additionally, we had sponsors for the Arbor Day drawing competition. We have the Down Home Creamery, Poke Joe's, the Pottery, let me find Earthwork Pottery Studio, and Firehouse Skate and Play. So they contributed either gift cards or in-kind donations so that we can give those gifts and awards to the children. Additionally, the official planting will be held on the 22nd of April, where we'll be planting 10 trees. I always get tongue-tied with trees because I say tree. Okay. So we'll be planting 10 trees, a green giant, along the Glade Town Greenway. So we're trying to do is finish a screening right there to mask the building at 350 Island Avenue, because the Phase 2B of that greenway is on the way to be completed. So we're expecting that there's going to be a lot more usage. So we want to ensure that the beautification is complete in terms of the tree areas, right? So ultimately, that is what I have to tell you guys in terms of Arbor Day celebration. If you have any questions, let me know, and then I can invite you to read the proclamation.
Okay, thank you. One of my favorite things. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable source giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our town increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, Mayor Bradley E. Gross and the town of Vinton, on behalf of all of our citizens, do hereby proclaim April 26, 2024 as Arbor Day in the town of Vinton, and urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the hearts and promote the well-being of this and future generations.
Thank you, Lori, and thank you. I appreciate all the additional information. Thank you very much. All right, with that, we'll move on to our next proclamation, which is National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. I think we have a representative from Roanoke County, right?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rebecca Kraft. I'm the 911 Center Manager at Roanoke County. I just wanted to say thank you very much for the recognition and the acknowledgement on behalf of all the men and women that work in the 911 Center.
All right, thank you very much. And we do have a proclamation. I think the Vice Mayor has that.
We do, Mr. Mayor. Whereas the week of April 14th through 2024 has been declared National Public Safety Telecommunications Week by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America. And whereas the President of the United States issued a proclamation calling upon the people of the United States to observe that week with appropriate ceremonies and activities. And whereas problems of crime, fire, and other disasters touch and affect all segments of our society, and if unabated, can undermine and erode both the moral and economic strengths of our community. And whereas men and women are engaged in the operation of emergency response systems for the town of Vinton, and whereas professionals are responsible for responding to stressful telephone calls from the general public for police, fire, and emergency medical assistance, and for calmly and professionally dispatching appropriate assistance to help save the lives and property of our citizens, and whereas our communications officers daily serve the public in countless ways without recognition by the beneficiaries of their service. Now, therefore, Bradley Gross and the Town Council of the Town of Vinton, on behalf of all citizens, do hereby proclaim April 14 to 20, 2024 as National Public Safety Telecommunications Week in the Town of Vinton, and call upon the citizens of the town of Vinton to observe this week with appropriate ceremonies and activities.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. Thank you, folks, for the job you do. It's incredibly, in my mind, incredibly difficult job, a real challenge. We got to see you folks in action during way back when we used to have the Citizen Police Academy, and to me, it was just unbelievable.
Well, and you're welcome to come and observe in the center anytime.
Wow. How about it? It's worth going.
Call, send me an email, and we'll be more than happy to facilitate that for any of the members.
Great. That's good. Yep. Yeah. Very interesting. Well, thank you for being here. We
Thank you for having me. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you. Well. All right. Next item is citizens' comments and petitions. Anyone have anything? Nope. All right, with that, we will move on to the items that are requiring action, which tonight starts with a, presentation from Mr. Ransberg. Scott, do you want to talk with us about the Roanoke Valley Regional Cable Television Committee?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Mayor Gross, members of Town Council, as you're aware, Roanoke Valley Television, RVTV, has served the city of Roanoke, Roanoke County, Town of Vinton, and their respective school systems since 1993. We're proud to provide government and educational media services for our partners, as well as distribution of that content via live stream, social media, on demand, and cablecast locally on Cox Channel 3, Comcast Channel 3, and Chantel Glow Fiber Channel 7. Last year, our 5-person team carried out 480 unique projects, including 2,673 minutes of finished video for our partner agencies, resulting in an estimated service value of over $2 million. For the town of Vinton, a few examples of those services include event promotional support, State of Vinton Town live stream, business and educational development, profiles, ribbon cuttings, all things Vinton, still and drone photography, podcasts, graphic design services, and support for our school systems. RVTV is governed by the Regional Cable Television Committee, and your representatives on that committee are Lori Mullins, Economic Development Specialist Marshall Stanley, and your citizen representative is Ray Sandifer. RVTV's operating budget is shared by each of the 3 sponsoring localities based on the proportion of population as defined by U.S. Census data, and the financial impact of that is offset through your share of revenues received via Virginia's communication sales and use tax and EG fees from local communications providers. Our operating request for Vinton Town Council for this upcoming fiscal year is $25,614, which represents 4.12% of our total annual operating budget of $620,187. It's the recommendation of the Cable Television Committee to approve the fiscal year 24-25 operating budget, and I'd be happy to receive any comments or questions the council may have.
Scott, thank you very much. We appreciate it. You are the representative. Would you like to add to that?
I can't say enough good things. You guys do exceptional work. Like you said, it's a small team, but they do mighty work. Seem like they work well together. They're always excited about showing new things. Last time we got to see an indoor drone that I loved. Well, now we all want to buy one. Yeah. And I can't say enough good things. Thank you for all your help and everything you do, and it's always so professional.
Thank you.
And fast.
Yes, and fast.
Yeah.
Turn around quick.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we always love to see you guys in Vinton. You do a great job.
All you have to do is give us a call. Just let us know what you need help with.
All right. Keep that in mind, right?
I got to serve on the RVTV committee prior to Ms. Mullins going on, and I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. And speaking of field trips, I think we all need to go there and check it out.
Happy to. It's a blast.
Totally different, Sabrina. It's It's like up 10 levels.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
I'd like to do
Another
that.
field trip.
Yes.
Yeah. Scott, we're into field trips, so we'll share.
He can schedule that, or get us on the calendar. We'll gladly give you a tour.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're busy. Scott, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Folks, you heard the presentation from Scott concerning the operating budget for 2024-2025 for the Roanoke Valley Regional Cable Television. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Mullins, a second by Vice Mayor Stovall. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles,
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty,
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stovall,
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes. All right. So I think, I don't see Mr. Keene over there anywhere, so are you going to handle this next one, Cody? All right.
You know the drill. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of council. So, in light of the recognition of the High Ground Monument Committee that was just done, it's now time to consider adopting a resolution to create a designated account to hold the remaining monies held after the dissolution of the Vinton Roanoke County Veterans Monument Committee. So this will allow us to hold that money in sort of the town coffers for the repairs, maintenance, ongoing for the monument, and will allow us to receive future contributions should anyone choose to do that on behalf of the monument. So you have before you a resolution creating that fund and setting aside that money for its future use. So if you have any questions, be happy to address them.
Okay, thank you, Cody. As Cody mentioned, if you have any questions or comments concerning the resolution as presented, please speak up. Anything? Nope. If there are no questions, then we will entertain a motion to approve the resolution as he has described, which would set up an account for the Vinton Roanoke County Veterans Monument.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember McCarty, second by Councilmember Lyles. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles?
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty?
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stovall?
Yes.
Mayor Gross?
Yes. Okay, with that looks like Fayula's up again. We'll move on to... You did so well the first time. Bring you back.
You just keep coming.
We bring you back. It's that voice.
I tell you, she could read anything to me.
Bring it on.
Good evening again. I feel like Miss Popular today. So essentially what I'll be presenting on is the Project Outside. We applied for the Project Outside grant in January, and we received confirmation in March that we actually received that grant in the amount of $4,500. The allocated funds, or what we aim to do with the grant, is to update the Wolf Creek parking lot using asphalt milling or recycled asphalt milling. Additionally, the boards of the Tinker Creek Canoe Launch needs to be replaced as well. And you can see in your packets the condition that they're dilapidated or they're rotting. So essentially, we aim to update those perimeter fences as well. The necessity of this project came about when we got complaints or inquiries from at least two residents, and also we went out and we inspected the site and saw that we had a need for it. We had our official kickoff meeting March 21st at 10:30, where town staff came together to discuss who would be responsible for what and what are the expectations and the timeline that we would need for the grant. So there was an agreement that we can put it on the schedule for commencement in May, and the Public Works Department would be responsible for doing most of the work. So it shouldn't take them more than, maybe I'll give them a month. That's what they said, 2 weeks, but we want to say let's give them a month. And the final date to submit the grant paperwork would be December 31st, but we would be way ahead of schedule in terms of the project and the grant itself. So this is in alignment with the town's overarching vision to enhance infrastructure and to foster a more livable community. And so I would hope that we can adopt the resolution for this grant.
Okay, thank you very much. Council, you heard the details concerning the resolution from and the grant from Roanoke Outdoor Foundation Project.
I'll make a motion to approve. And I'll just also comment that these pictures, this has been like this for a long time probably, because these pictures are when it used to snow around here.
It has been a while.
We need to hurry up and get this fixed.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. So you made a motion.
And I'll second that.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to make a comment that the funds provided by the Roanoke Outside Foundation, they're primarily derived from proceeds from the Go Fest. So this started in the pandemic time period when the large corporations who sponsored the event, and they couldn't have it because of COVID, they used those funds. Most of the corporations did not ask for the funds back. So they funded $100,000 the first year, went to $50,000 the next year, and I believe it was 25 or 30 this year. So it's as they've restored some of the events, back to GoFest, it's consumed most of the funds available, but that's where the funds are derived from. So just thought that would be information you'd like to know.
Yeah. Thank you. That was very interesting, and I think we're very, very fortunate to have that Roanoke Outside Foundation. I mean, obviously they've contributed a lot to the valley, and I'm certainly glad that we've gotten this grant. And one of the things that struck me is particularly the parking lot rail there, whatever. So, gosh, we've had those things long enough for that to happen. That's kind of hard to believe. But anyhow, I'm glad we got the grant. So there's a motion and a second. I guess you got the names. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles.
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty.
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stovall.
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes. Thank you, Council. All right, so we've added item 4, which I assume you're going to handle. Oh. No, hi there. Hi, Anita.
I was ready Mullins, and Anita's here.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Good evening, Mayor Gross, member of the council. I have before you, I know it's an addition to the agenda. The grant application is due May 7 by 4. So that's why we added on the agenda. We did apply for the grant last year, but we were told we missed by 6 points. So we're gonna resubmit again. Last year when we submitted the application, we did include the trailhead parking improvement since Ms. Gordon received the outside grant, the Roanoke outside grant for that. So we're just gonna hopefully apply just for the restroom facility. As you recall, Wolf Creek Greenway is the first trail in Roanoke, in the town of Vinton and East Roanoke County. We completed that in May 1999. And when the first trail conference for Virginia, it was as part of the site, it was at the Wolf Creek Greenway. And since then, Roanoke County extended the Greenway in 2001 from Washington to Stonebridge Park, and then in 2007, they extended all the way to Blue Ridge Parkway. We've been having Porta John at that Greenway since 2000. So people have been asking when we're gonna put a permanent restroom. So hopefully, not many grant that will allow the grant funding for the bathroom, but this is the second year that the Department of Conservation and Recreation will allow for the grant to be used if it approved to put a restroom facility. It is 80-20, so the 20% from the town labor can be used as part of that 20% matching. So I do have before you a resolution for the town manager to file an application and to sign any agreement if we are to receive the grant.
Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate that explanation. And so this was the second trial of the grant, huh?
We'll see.
It takes that sometimes. Council, you have any questions or comments? If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution as described.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember McCarty, second by Vice Mayor Stovall. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles.
Yes.
Councilmember McCarty.
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stovall.
Yes.
Mayor Gross.
Yes, thank you. Moving right along here tonight. All right. So with that, we'll move to the appointments for the boards and commissions. These are the VML policy committees, and of course, it was in your packet, and I think everyone's been contacted.
Yes, I contacted everyone, and everyone agrees to being on the same committees as last year. So it's just pretty much a motion to approve that, and then I'll send it over to the VML with the same information as last year.
Okay, great. So you folks know what's going on. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
All right.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Lyles and a second by the ladies. I'll let you do that.
We'll fight over.
Pick one.
They were full.
I thought I only heard one, but I guess it blended in.
I kind of said.
We're in unison.
That's fine.
Minutes are okay.
All right.
All the total.
Yeah. A lot of pressure there.
There you go. Okay, any further comment, question? Nope, if not, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
No.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay. And now to our committee reports. Public Works Committee. Hello.
Are you putting on a different hat?
I know, right?
Several times.
No wonder the street lights aren't working right.
You know, if I were colorblind, you'd feel bad. Yeah. Mr. Mayor, members of council, it is my, I would say, privilege to give the Public Works Committee meeting overview tonight in lieu of Mr. Herndon. The Public Works Committee had a jam-packed schedule for this last month, as Ms. Mullins and Ms. McCarty can attest. So jumping right into a number of the items. So first of all, a sign replacement program that is moving apace. We have begun doing that in the Midway area. So this is where we're doing an evaluation of not just the green street signs, but also speed limit signs, stop signs, yield signs, any other signage in the town. We have recognized for a while that a lot of our signs are missing, a lot of our signs are faded or getting older, and we're doing just a comprehensive review of that. This will be going on throughout the rest of the year. We're doing it by trash route, so we did start in Midway and then working our way for the next area will be the Bush Farms and Valley High area coming next month. But we've gotten really good feedback from the program, and as a heads up for anyone who is interested, we are keeping the old street signs and we will make those available to the public on a first come first served basis. So if you have any street signs that you are particularly fond of, feel free to put in your request, or when you see the announcement come out, you can come to the Public Works building and we can get one for you. So a lot of citizens have been really excited about the possibility to get that.
Yeah.
Paving, the main part of the quote-unquote fall paving schedule, which extended into the spring this year, is complete. That was the neighborhood behind the Kroger, Clearview, Niagara, and streets in between, and then also Augusta and Spruce and back behind the funeral home. So that has been completed. We've also completed Walnut Avenue and Cleveland Avenue as a part of this cycle, and then moving ahead to the end of this month into the first week of May, we'll be doing the rest of 8th Street, so across the railroad tracks. Have to coordinate with the railroad on that one when they're available. And then we'll also be doing West Jackson and West Lee and behind the McClung building to sort of match it with the Walnut Avenue improvements around the farmers market. Speaking of sort of surface improvements, you will have noticed that today we have sealed the back parking lot for the municipal lot. That'll be striped tomorrow. We have striped and sealed the farmers market parking lot, and then the street parking around the library on South Pollard and East Cleveland, we will be sealing and striping tomorrow and Thursday. So this is all hopefully in anticipation of Dogwood, and to just make our parking sort of cleaner and more visible and update that and get some extra life out of that. So some folks have been wondering, it is not repaving these lots, it is just sealing and striping, so significantly cheaper, but getting some extra life out of the assets nonetheless. So we apologize for the inconvenience, but they will look very nice for Dogwood when we have people come to town and get the extra life. We have ordered a new refuse truck. So this is part of our scheduled replacement program. So that truck has been ordered for delivery in July. So we took the opportunity. There was a chassis that was available ahead of time. Normally, this is a process that can take up to 12 months to receive from ordering. So we have shortened that with the available chassis to about 4 months, which is excellent. Bang for the buck for the residents and businesses in the town. So we'll, of course, make an announcement when delivery happens, but there will be a new refuse truck putzing around town come this summer. So that'll provide an excellent service to the town. For Mr. Lyles, speaking of signal lights, Pollard and Virginia Avenue intersection, we have ordered new heads for that and some upgraded infrastructure for the control box. The one big change that will be happening at that signal is we'll be adding a blinking yellow arrow to the left turn from Virginia onto Pollard. So that will allow some left turns onto that to help keep everything flowing through there. And then in addition to that, we are going to be adding a blinking yellow arrow from Washington Avenue onto Bypass coming into the town to help free up some of that morning congestion that happens with that left turn of the commuter traffic going onto Bypass and ultimately onto Hardy Road. So those have been ordered. Historically, signal lights, they've had about a 6-month lead time on that, so we anticipate installation sometime over the summer. Mountain View Road, I actually have an update from even when we met on Mountain View Road. We have a pre-construction meeting scheduled with VDOT tomorrow to get the updated timeline and to get the notice to proceed outlined. So after tomorrow, we should be able to share more details of the timeline. That project, we have paid our part of the revenue sharing, and it is scheduled to begin sometime after June 1st, after schools are out. But like I said, after tomorrow, we should have a clear detail of the exact timeline of that construction.
Right.
The First Street water line, you will have noticed the lane has mostly opened up on South Pollard Street. They're still doing some incidental repairs, so there was a lane closure today, lane closure yesterday. So as that continues, we'll announce as is applicable, but that shouldn't last longer than this week. They have finished the primary part of the work, and that is providing a new 8-inch pipe, 8-inch water main in the ground serving the downtown area, feeding the water system. So not only was it a new infrastructure for us, but it was a very good partnership with the Water Authority using some leftover bond money from previous infrastructure projects when the town owned the system. The farmers market, there is a new pad that has been poured, and for the storage buildings down there along West Lee. So that is in place for future projects and just better use of those facilities. The Vinton War Memorial Playground has had the trees removed, and I apologize, I have not confirmed whether or not the stumps have been fully ground, but they had been removed a couple weeks ago, and we were working towards grinding those and getting everything cleaned up. And then lastly, the mobile home park, of course, that's in the floodplain and using doing the mitigation there. That project moves apace. Boxley has milled the small access road, so that has been removed. And then once the permits have been finalized, our public works crews will go in and relocate and demolish the remaining things and then seed that area. So it'll be a nice cleaned up area, like I said, in the flood zone over there, so enhancing some safety. So if you have any questions about what's going on in Public Works has been busy. Projects are still moving apace, and the grass is growing and construction season is upon us.
Yeah. It's been busy. It's going to be busy too. All right.
It's getting busier by the day.
Great news on Mountain View Road.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. Awesome.
We have a nice road for everybody from the county to drive on when they go into the
And yes, just to update on that, I'd be remiss to not mention the Transportation Projects website that has been launched. So I think we've announced that before, that we've worked on. So as soon as we get those details on Mountain View Road, we will post them updated on the transportation website and share them through the regular media outlets. So
sounds great.
Excellent.
Great. Any questions or comments? No? Well, thank you, Cody, for that report. And as we move to the Finance Committee.
Look at you.
Yeah. Please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Putting my finance hat on, Finance Committee met yesterday and had a fairly short agenda, so I won't labor any of the points. The two highlights from the Finance Committee meeting yesterday, one, just a general announcement for both council and the public is over this last weekend, the personal property tax bills were successfully printed and are going into the mail this week.
Yeah.
So that's for both Roanoke County and the town of Vinton. And then this coming weekend, the first half of the real estate tax bills are being printed and they will be mailed out next week. So personal property tax bills are due May 31st. First half of real estate are due June 5th. So these are coming due, and if you have any questions about those, you can direct them to the treasurer's office moving forward. So just in case you get questions or comments from the citizens and businesses. So those are in the mail and coming to a mailbox near you.
Very soon.
Very soon. Well, post office. They're eventually coming to a mailbox near you. The other thing that we discussed in the meeting was the February 29th 2024 financial statements. So we discussed the overview of the cash position, and the way, the highlight here is the way that the flow of the cash for the town, and this goes into those two tax billings, is the majority of our tax collections occur in the spring time, right here, actually May and June at the end of the fiscal year. So the way our cash picture looks is we tend to build up our cash reserves in the spring, and then we spend those down sort of steadily over the year into the winter. So in February coming from January, we do see that traditional sort of dip in our cash position, and then in February into March we start seeing it pick up because that's when BPOL starts coming in. So we should continue to see our cash position grow over the next couple months. Not that the town is bringing in anything more than we would expect, but it's just the flow of the cash that we then live on through the summer and the fall and spend it down. Part of that cyclical nature of our cash flow. The investment accounts are doing well with the high rate environment. We continue to earn upwards of 4% and 5% on our investments. So that gives us some flexibility with one-time cash to invest back into the community and infrastructure projects. For example, these signal lights that I just mentioned in the Public Works report were paid for almost entirely from investment earnings. So money that it's not even taxpayer money, it's just earnings on our investments from previous years, more projects being delivered for the citizens and the traveling public in that way. For the financial statements, the story is similar. In the general fund, we do have higher than expected expenditures as of the end of February, but that's because of some major bills that come due earlier in the year. So as I mentioned with Public Works, it is traditionally called fall paving. So we had a fairly large paving bill that was paid in the fall, and then we also had the prepayment for Mountain View Road revenue sharing. So those were some large bills that came out of the general fund earlier in the year, and now as we move into our spring revenue collection season, we'll start to replenish that cash. So while temporarily the expenditures are outpacing the revenues, that will tend to reverse itself in March and April, and then look to a positive picture by the end of the fiscal year. Grant fund continues apace thanks to a lot of the grants that we get. That's a revenue fund, a reimbursement fund. So it does lag, it runs negative, but we are starting to get those reimbursements and continue to get good news on the reimbursements coming in a timely manner. Capital fund, stormwater fund, those are our one-time, capital fund, our one-time monies where we spend down the cash that we have set aside in previous years. So projects are being built, those projects are moving apace. And then stormwater fund is a combination of operating and capital expenses, but it's still doing strong for this time of year. So if you have any questions regarding the cash and the financial report summary, happy to answer them.
Okay. Thank you, Cody. So basically any negative figures are not of any concern because it's just part of the cycle.
Yes, in two different ways. So if you look at the general fund, some of those reductions are exactly as you mentioned due to the cyclical nature of how the cash flow happens in the town. And then if you look at something like the grant fund, it's because we pay it out and then get reimbursed from usually our state partners such as VDOT or Department of Conservation.
Right. Okay. Thank you for that. Council, you have any questions or comments? No? If not, we'll entertain a motion to accept the financial statement for February 29th as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, motion by Councilmember Lyles, second by Vice Mayor Stovall. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. All right, and then we'll move on to Community Development Committee. Hi, Nathan.
Yes, Mayor, members of council.
Good to see you.
See you too. Tonight we'll be doing the Community Development Committee report. As Cody mentioned, a lot of our transportation projects are now on the transportation webpage on our town website. So on that webpage, you can find updates, the description about the project, and anything relevant to the many ongoing projects and planned projects in the town. So one project I'd like to highlight, the Glade Creek Greenway Phase 2B, an unexpected water line replacement that was found across the trail or the greenway has led to the project being delayed till September due to the town having to obey the time of year restriction based on federal requirements for working in Glade Creek. And so with that, our contractors could still move forward with any kind of incidental project activities they could do, like the overhead fall shelter protection and concrete work up to Walnut Avenue. But at this time, we would have to delay the project till the work can continue on in different phases, but it will not be completed until at least September. Gus Nix Boulevard and Hardy Road crosswalk projects. Those are very similar in nature. They're both mid-block crossings with refuge islands. In terms of the staging, Gus Nix Boulevard will be the first one to move forward, and that's estimated to start around May 6th. And then after they're completed with Gus Nix, they'll move to Hardy Road, and they'll be completed by August 6th. So we're working within this kind of the school year here, kind of like the Mountain View Road project. And that's why the timetable is that way. But these projects will be completed relatively quickly. Just the important thing to know is that Gus Nix will be the first one, and then the staging will be once they're done, the move over to Hardy Road. Walnut Avenue bike ped improvements phase 3, so that's the section between 5th Street and 1st Street. Construction is still 2 or 3 years away on that project, but VDOT's doing design work and survey work in that area. We've been working with business owners and property owners along the corridor to mitigate any kind of design issues and work to try to best design the project so when we get to the actual full engineering phase, when you're dealing with stormwater and sidewalk placement and bike lane placement, we can have a good product to present to everyone before we move forward into the next phases of right-of-way and construction. And VDOT's administering that project, but obviously the town is heavily involved in making sure the project is something that the town would want, even though it's funded by VDOT. The National Park Service is going to be doing substantial improvements to the Blue Ridge Parkway. So just when you thought the Blue Ridge Parkway would open up and you wouldn't see anything for a while, they're going to be planning from starting this summer for the next 2 years. This is a full-scale generational, what they're calling a generational improvement with improves to the pavement, stormwater improvements, the shoulders, the overlooks from 460 all the way to 220. They have a staging plan for how they're going to do the closures along the exits. So they want to maintain traffic flow, and there will be detours, so it won't be a full closure as it was last time when they did improvements, but they will put out public materials. So as soon as we get the information from the National Park Service, we'll be able to put it out to the Vinton Messenger and our town website and social media channels to
Goodness, they're gonna pave, because it's rough from Benton to 220. I mean, that's a rough stretch.
Yeah, exactly. So Safe Streets for All is a program that was started by the Federal Highway administration as a part of the federal government's Vision Zero, which is the idea that that there's no acceptable level of fatalities on our roadways caused by traffic accidents. And so Roanoke County, the town of Vinton, and Botetourt County received funding last year from FHA to conduct a Safe Streets for All comprehensive safety action plan. So the purpose of this initial safety action plan is to help communities safer by significantly reducing the roadway-related fatalities and serious injuries. The first phase is included in the development of this action plan, which actually includes looking at the corridors, looking at the intersections throughout the town that had a high crash data that was related to fatalities and serious injuries, doing a lot of public outreach, and then working through that to actually identify improvements to mitigate any kind of future crashes and make those corridors and intersections safer for vehicular traffic, pedestrians, cyclists. So the first phase of this program, which will take a year, will involve, it's going to be more of a planning study, and then also identifying projects. But then the next phase of this, and the reason why it's important for us to go through this first action plan, is because the next level of funding from the federal government will be money to actually implement the things within the plan identified. So important to note that Tuesday, April 30th, from 5 to 7, there will be an open house at the Vinton War Memorial to present the Safe Streets for All program and to get feedback from Vinton residents on unsafe corridors, unsafe intersections, and get their general feedback on places throughout the town that they find to be unsafe. And also for them to review the crash data from 2016 on, so that we can highlight what corridors are statistically unsafe. But any and all feedback and participation is heavily encouraged, and it's open house style. So 5 to 7, you can get there at any time between those two time frames. That's Tuesday, April 30th. Finally, for transportation, the town submitted a pre-application for the Smart Scale program for the Washington Bypass Roundabout project. We don't have a budget estimate on that at this time. We do have a conceptual plan for what the roundabout could look like, and I want to thank the Salem District Office for continuing to offer this program to localities where we can pick one project each year or each Smart Scale cycle to submit to the Smart Scale program. And they actually will use their own funds to hire an engineer to help us with the project application, which is a huge help to localities.
Yeah.
The next item was a Vinton 2050, our comprehensive plan update. So we're about to have our kickoff meeting on Thursday, and there's more to come on public feedback and participation. Right now we're in the initial phases. The first major public event will be to look out for us at the Vinton Dogwood Festival. We'll have a booth where we're going to be talking about what we're going to have or what the comp plan's about, and just to raise awareness for what is to come over the next 15-month period of the Vinton 2050 comp plan, or comprehensive plan. The community park development, so just an update on the community park behind the Vinton War Memorial. There's tree work that's been completed around the site, and the next phase of the project will include the installation of the parking lot and also the installation of 2 sets of playground equipment. And then, as a part of the final thing for this committee, Marshall provided an Econ Dev update for 2 projects that both had Town of Vinton performance agreements attached to them. One is Taco Rita. They completed their sewer line connection, and they're hoping to be open by late May, located downtown. And then the Cleveland Mart redevelopment project is underway. And just a reminder, the project will feature 7 apartments and a commercial office space fronting east of Cleveland Avenue.
Wow.
And just to mark the Cleveland Mart project, the purpose of that grant and the reason why, or the purpose of having a performance agreement on that project, was to act as a catalyst for that neighborhood. And if you've been down the street, you could see that there's already other development in the works around that adjacent corridor. So that performance agreement's already working, and the project's already working. So the public-private partnership of that lot is going to be a success, and we're already seeing the ripple effects in the neighborhood of the improvements that have been done. So no timeline for when it'll be completed, but hopefully in the future we'll know closer to when they expect to be done. Okay. So that's my report. Pending any questions?
All right. No, good one. Thank you.
Yeah, great.
Excellent.
Great report, great report. And Nathan, I certainly agree with you, and the town manager has mentioned that also Cleveland Martin is bringing other investments and improvements in that neighborhood, and that's a real success as far as I'm concerned. That's great, you know.
Yeah, agree.
Good investment for all of us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, good report. Okay, with that, Jeremy, I don't see anything listed, but always good to see you in your spiffy ties.
Mr. Mayor. He's got his Dallas Cowboy tie. He's got his Dallas Cowboy tie on.
He never texts you, Jeremy.
No, he actually.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I debated it, but I was like.
And Chief, we don't see you listed on here, but always good to see you here. So thank you. I know you folks do a lot in the community and doesn't always show up on the council agenda, but thank you folks a lot. Town manager?
I have the easiest job tonight. I only have a couple things that haven't already been mentioned. First of all, just wanted to mention that the mural is near completion. We think we'll have him back in town maybe one more day this week to do the finishing touches, and we are working with him to assist on doing an unveiling, so to speak. I mean, it's not concealed by any means, but kind of publicly acknowledge his contribution toward the artwork. So we're excited about that, and some great feedback.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing is the Dogwood Festival, and it's already been mentioned, but just wanted to say that the committee's put a lot of work into it. It's been a number of months of time committed to that, and those folks show up every couple of weeks, and they do a lot of effort to make that event happen. So they have a concert Friday night at the Farmers Market stage, and on Saturday, the event starts at 10. And goes through 4 p.m. There are 4 entertainment stages. There are over 180 vendors at last count.
Wow. That's cool.
Wow. We're anticipating several dozen folks to participate in the parade. It's a little misconceiving about the total number because, for example, one of the parade participants is the William Byrd Band. It's not the full band, but they'll have several dozen themselves. So it should be a good turnout. It's all weather dependent as far as the participation and what their attendance is, but we're putting all the effort forward for that event. So looking forward to that and having council participate in the parade again this year. So the Dogwood, again, it's from 10 to 4 on Saturday. Entertainments throughout the day. The crowning of the queen is at noon here at this building. The parade will be at 2 o'clock. And Twin Creeks is actually doing a post-event concert. So they have 3 bands starting at 4 o'clock that evening.
Oh, wow.
So it'll be a fun, energetic day within the town.
Yeah, that sounds great.
That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Very exciting. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very excited about the Dogwood Festival. The tradition continues. Lots of new things.
189 vendors. That's a lot of vendors.
Yeah. That's great. That's incredible.
They're actually looking for extra space. They have so many, so set a new record for us.
Good grief.
79 years.
Yep.
Everybody.
Everyone wants to come to Vinton. That's right. You're right.
We were here before it was cool. At least I was.
It's always been cool.
Before other people found out it was.
Yeah, right.
It's cooler.
Yeah.
It's cooler before.
Vice Mayor, you have anything further this evening?
I do. State of the town. I thought that was a success. Great to see some people I hadn't seen and, naturally introducing to people, but it was, I don't know that I've ever stepped up on the stage and seen that room full, but that room's full.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you. But I looked out there and thought, daggone, this thing's full. I will report that the playground is complete, 100%. Hats off to Bo and the Public Works people for, we now have a crosswalk leading from the parking lot for the boys and girls, for everybody. We have signs that have directed people to park in the church parking lot and then walk across the street. And then, of course, we have the handicap spaces painted, and we have a sign in the center of the road, the pedestrian sign, just like we have out here, sticking up in the center of the road. And me too with Pete, I still, she's got good eyes, and mine might be going bad, but I swear I think there's something inside those eyeballs that he's painting. I mean, I looked at it again tonight today. I just think there's something in her eyeballs. I'm just gonna climb up on the building and look at it right now.
We'll get the lift.
Well, I talked to him the other day. He said, "Well, I got it laid on my desk. I don't see anything, but I mean, it just looks right here at the top of her eyeballs. It just looks like to me there's something in there. I don't know.
She's watching you.
Maybe it's a sparkle. Who knows?"
Great art.
That's right. That's
Very
right.
good. Yeah. Very good. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Maybe you have anything?
I'd like to say once again, welcome to Mandy and Rachel. And also, as I was sitting here this evening and had read the Arbor Day proclamation, that was 1872 in Kansas. I got my little Virginia Tech cup right here, established 1872. Thought that was interesting. And it is Hokie Day in remembrance from 2007. And so I thought that was kind of cool. It was interesting. And also, I always look forward to Dogwood Day. It's the date's one day later, but I got married on Dogwood Day 27 years ago, so I always enjoy that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that.
And speaking of her getting married, I don't know if everybody saw it, but the Vinton History Museum had a post of our beautiful Lori Mullins in her wedding gown. And that was very nice. Very nice. And I too think that we had a heck of a state of the town address. That was good. The mayor, you did good. Vice mayor, you did good. Sold out. Town staff, I mean, all the way down to the little bags that they gave out that have the, the QR codes or whatever. I mean, amazing. We couldn't have asked for a better day. So it was just great. I do want to know, are those postcards for sale in any of our drugstores or anything?
No, but it's a good idea. I'm waiting for the mural to be done so we can have more postcards of that as well.
Okay, but yeah, let's get those in the stores. I think it's so cool.
Very cool. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. Sure. You have anything?
That state of the town was great. Welcome Mandy and Rachel, and it completes the staff at the Memorial. It's going to be a good team, I'm sure. And then I just want to thank the chief and his officers. There was a little mishap at my house last Sunday. My fence gets hit quite often right there on the corner, and yours truly is the one that has to pay for it all the time. But the fence grabbed the license plate this time.
All right.
The Vinton's fine is made him show back up at the house, and long story short, he didn't sleep in his bed that night. Going to be taken care of.
Stay away.
I really appreciate that. And also special thanks to the chief. He's taking care of something that I had obligated myself to do for the schools this coming Friday, but the schools aren't out yet, so I don't have any help at my place of employment. So he has stepped up for me and is going to talk to the kids. So thanks. I really appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, sir. That's yet another example of teamwork.
Teamwork, yes. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Hey, they're going to enjoy him a lot more than they would.
Yeah. I too would like to welcome Andy and of course Rachel. We're very excited about you folks being here. I think you're going to fit in the team well. We were just talking about teamwork, and that's what happened at the State of the Town. A lot of great teamwork. I want to thank everyone that was involved, the folks that helped. One of the folks that wrote the speech and everything. That it was just I thought a good day, just like you said, it's a good day for Vincent. So really exciting. I just want to thank everyone that was involved. The council members invited a couple of citizens, and I want to ask you guys quickly if you've gotten any feedback. The two folks that I invited, the two citizens, were just overwhelmed. They loved it. Both of them said, I didn't know all that was going on in town. It was like, well, that's the reason we wanted to invite you, you know. So they really enjoyed that. Have you guys heard back from any of the folks you invited?
Everything positive.
Yeah. Mine said the exact same things. They were very appreciative that they were invited and very amazed that everything was going on.
Yeah.
And said that they would probably come back next year and go on their own. Just because it was a good information and a good crowd.
Good. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I think maybe we should continue the tradition of inviting some citizens every year.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. All right. Anything further to come before council this evening? If not, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by leaving. Thank you, folks.